All right, so if you follow politics at all, then you already know that Governor Walz is an absolute idiot. I mean, this guy made a complete fool of himself while running for VP. He's had tons of fraud exposed in his state, which somehow hasn't had any kind of negative backlash on him. I don't know how he's been able to slither his way through that scandal, but somehow he's still in the position, has no impeachments or anything against him. Must be because he's on the right team, meaning he's a lib instead of a Republican. If he was a Republican, then all of a sudden, all this crap of impeachment and this and that, his whole entire team that he's ever appointed would have to be impeached as well, and all this and extreme investigations. But because he's on the right team, he gets to get away with it. Anyways, even though he's an absolute moron, he still loves to go on and make speeches and what have you, and spew dumb nonsense. Just like, she's in the same vein as him, just like Pocahontas, whatever her name is, Senator Warren. Every day she's got a new video with some kind of dumb propaganda that's just absolutely incorrect and just a waste of time to even make the video for. So anyways, Walz had something so stupid that didn't really post. It's just he was at a rally or something, and I just want to talk about it.
We've got a feeble-minded, trigger-happy president who plunged us into a war where no threat was present, with no clear objectives and no exit plan. We need to call that what it is. That's fascism. Or at least it's fascist curious, as they would be.
Okay, so that was the whole clip. As you saw, pretty stupid. But let's just do a little breakdown of it. So right out the gate, it starts with him saying, we have a feeble-minded and trigger-happy president. First off, feeble-minded? Who are you calling feeble? He is way more intelligent than most of the Democrats that they've been pitching. Biden. You went through Biden's whole entire presidency. Did you ever call him feeble-minded? The guy literally has Alzheimer's and has had it since day one. Okay, man, maybe not literally has Alzheimer's, but he's got some form of dementia, okay? Some form of mental decline. I mean, he couldn't speak. Every single time he spoke, he screwed it up. He couldn't remember what to do. Getting off a stage, he'd get lost all the time. There's that famous speech that he gave, and then he turns to shake someone's hand, and no one's there, just standing there like an idiot, duh, and stands there forever, too. Hello, no one's there. What are you waiting for? I mean, the guy also, what did he do? Biden, he used to go to bed at 6 o'clock and get up at 9 the next morning, 9 hours of sleep every single night. Oh, no, more than that, actually. I'm thinking backwards. 9 to 6. 6 to 9, that's 15 hours. Yeah, you want to talk about feeble? That's what we just had. We finally got rid of the feebility. And that's just one guy. Then you have Kamala. She's kind of feeble. She's not feeble in the same realm as what Biden was. Biden was just mental decline. He had senior feebility. Kamala was more just dumb. Everything was funny for some reason to her. She also, like Biden, couldn't think. That's why she didn't want to do half of these debates and stuff with Trump or go on Joe Rogan's show, because she couldn't freestyle communication that long. That's too much work for her. Who else is pretty dumb that the left has had? Even him, Walz. He's over here trying to make fun of Trump. It's like, are you serious, brother? You are one of the dumbest people that I've ever seen. You're going to call Trump dumb? Sure, Trump might do some dumb things. I'm not trying to act like he's some mega genius. You know, his wild rants at 2 a.m. on Twitter or whatever. He uses Truth Social, and he says some goofy things. Or, you know, maybe sometimes when he's always over something, no one has ever done it like this before. And it's like, bro, calm down. Like, don't oversell yourself. But at the same time, that ain't a sign of someone being feeble. It's just somebody being a little more boastful about his achievements and such. You know, this guy can go up on a rally and do a 2-hour freestyled speech and keep the crowd fully engaged and everything for the whole 2 hours. You know, call him feeble? And then trigger happy? What are you talking about trigger happy, you moron? Trump's all about trying to end wars and stuff. You know, day one of his presidency, he's been trying to get Ukraine and Russia to come to terms, and same as Israel and Hamas and all these other conflicts that were going on, he ended. Like, he's not trigger happy. His first term had no wars. He just had that one little strike on Syria. That was like literally a one-day operation, and that was it, his first term. And then now this one, okay, fine, there's the Iran situation, but this isn't a trigger happy thing either. This is caused from years and years and years of building up. You know, the last 47 years. Ironically, he's president, 47th president, and also 47 years of dealing with Iran's nonsense. So this is something that's been building up, and presidents since the days of Reagan have been complaining about it, and he's just finally taking action. Like, that's not being trigger happy. That's just finally doing what should have been done 47 years ago. Then the moron goes on to say that, you know, we got into a war that had no clear objectives, and no threat was present, and no exit plan. First off, no threat was present. Iran's been yelling death to America for, what, this whole entire 47 years that there's been a problem with them to begin with? Yeah, that's no threat. Nah, death to America. Yeah, no threat at all. That sounds fine to me. They also have been, like, major bullies to a lot of the other Middle East countries. So even though it may not be directly affecting us, it's still a problem in that region. So what, because it doesn't directly affect us, so just do nothing about it? Yeah, that's okay. It's kind of like if you're a student in school, so some kid's bullying another kid, and you see it, and, hey, he's not bullying me, whatever, I don't care. Oh, that kid that's bullying you is significantly bigger than you, and I'm bigger than the bully, and I could probably make things better for you. Why should I bother? He's not bothering me. I mean, that's basically the logic there. You know, and also, you're talking about no direct threat. How about this whole Ukraine situation? I don't think Russia and Ukraine affected us at all, but for some reason we had to get involved in that and send hundreds of billions of dollars to Ukraine. Oh, didn't hear any lefties crying about that, though. You had every excuse in the world for that, why that was okay, though. Oh, we gotta help Ukraine. Oh, you know, those people, they shouldn't have to deal with Putin's tyranny. Okay, but the Middle East, just screw them. They can deal with the Ayatollah's tyranny? All right. And then, you know, he says that there was no plan and no exit strategy. First off, there is a plan. It's called he's a president, though, and he's not just going to broadcast his plan to the whole entire world, because then how do you have any element of surprise or anything like that? You have your whole strategy able to be subverted if you put it out there. Even in football, they talk like this, so then the other team can't see what they're saying to the players. You know, the coaches, they walk around like this, so then you can't see what you're saying to the quarterback, so you can't get any kind of advantage. Same idea here. So what, because Trump's not going out, okay, this is my total plan. So I think I'm going to do this is... Because he's not out there doing that, all of a sudden that there's no plan. And as far as an exit strategy, there kind of is one and always has been one. It's just Iran keeps choosing to be the dickheads and not cooperate. Like, look at recently. Today is Sunday, April 19th, as I'm recording this. I think it was just on Friday, the 16th, 17th? Yeah, the 17th. That there was a deal in the Strait of Hormuz where things were open. And then on Saturday, the 18th, Iran already went back on it. So that's Trump's fault that Iran just keeps breaking the rules and not following the plan that we're trying to put into place? Like, but again, going back to Ukraine, I don't think there was a plan to get out of there. That was just, keep funding Ukraine, keep giving Ukraine money, keep giving Ukraine money. There was no strategy at all on how you were going to end that. Same as Israel and Hamas. There was no strategy on that. But, we got to do something about those, fund them one way or another. But that was okay, right? But when Trump does something, it's the worst thing in the world. And then this little clip ends out in the left's favorite way by using the F word, fascism. The two words that they love the most but don't understand what they mean are racist and fascist. Clearly they don't know what racist means because everybody all of a sudden becomes racist. You don't agree with something a black person says, you must be racist. Yeah, because that's how racism works. And fascism. Again, they clearly do not know what that word means, because if they did, they'd realize that the Democrat Party under Biden was extremely the closest thing that we've had in a while to fascism. But they're too stupid. They just know that fascism's bad, and they want to equate Trump and Trump's followers with bad, so they throw that word out and say, yep, that's fascism. So what I'm going to do for fun now is just take a look at the definition, and we can talk about it. Mr. Walz, because that was the definition of fascism that we went to Iran, right? Well, let's see if you're correct or not. So fascism is an extreme right-wing, authoritarian, and ultranationalist political ideology that emerged in early 20th century Europe, characterized by dictatorial power, forcible suppression of opposition, and subordination of individual interests for the perceived good of the nation or race. It promotes national rebirth, militarism, and often racism, led by a charismatic dictator. So, let's take a look at the actual details. Core characteristics of fascism: extreme nationalism / ultranationalism, belief in the superiority of a specific nation or race, often focusing on national decline and seeking a rebirth or palingenesis. Well, here's the thing. You know, the left might hear that and think, yep, see, Trump's fascist because he goes with that stuff. No, he just wants America to be great. He's not saying it needs to be the greatest. He's not saying it needs to be the best country in the world that we are. Well, he might say we are the best country, but, you know, that's just having a love for your country. That's a normal thing. It's kind of like when you go to high school and you have pep rallies. You're supposed to, oh, yeah, my school's the best. You just have pride in where you're from. But at the end of the day, he just wants the country to be great. It's not that he wants it to be the greatest and, yeah, we're taking over the world and all this crazy nonsense like the left would make you think. Dictatorial leadership. Well, we can skip that because we don't have a dictator. We don't have a king. We have a president. And in 3 years, Trump is going to lose his position and somebody new will go in. So that's just a stupid point right there. Totalitarianism. The state aims for total control over public and private life. We can stop right there because no, it doesn't. At least not under Trump. Trump is trying, first off, Trump has actively reduced government a lot. First with Doge in his first 100 days, and then he still is working on making it smaller. He wants more private ownership of companies and investment and all that, not government. The government portion is from the left. For example, look at Mamdani. He wants to open up government-funded grocery stores instead, so then food can be free or some dumb nonsense. That's not Trump. That's you guys. That's the left. That's your socialist Democrat thing that you let win. Suppression of dissent. Liberal democracy. Well, right there, liberal. Trump's obviously not a lib. But anyways, socialism, Marxism, and trade unions are destroyed, with opponents silenced through violence. Huh, that's funny. Last time I checked, a lot of violence has been from the left. Every single time something doesn't go their way, they get violent. That's like the meme always going around. They either go and use extreme violence with a weapon, or else they just want to get physical, like at a protest or something. It's always the left, though. People on the right are able to just sit and talk. Look at Crowder. You know, he sits there and, hey, change my mind. Or what Charlie Kirk did, he'd just sit there and, hey, just talk to me. Nobody got violent at those. Well, at least not the hosts. It's always the left. So clearly, not a Trump type thing. Violence and militarism. Celebration of violence as a tool for political change. Wow, that could not define the left anymore. Okay, fine. And you might continue this and say, oh, look, it says frequently aiming for territorial expansion. Okay, yeah, sure. Trump's talking about trying to get, as a joke, Canada and Greenland, but Greenland has a purpose. Like, don't be stupid. There's a purpose for us to acquire Greenland. And as far as Canada, I mean, it's a joke, but at the same time, let's be real. What's Canada even really offering anything? It's mooching off of us. Its safety is mooching off of us. It's a huge area that's very sparsely populated. Like, if it became a 21st state, who cares? It's probably for the better of Canada anyways. Like, let's be real. And then scapegoating. Unifying the nation by identifying and blaming specific minority groups or extreme enemies for social woes. Well, I mean, you can put this either way. Sure, we say that the left is the problem and Democrats are the problem because if you have a brain, they are. But at the same time, you lefties and Democrats are going to say Republicans are the problem and that all the Republicans need to be taken out and it needs to just be Democrats taking over and yada, yada, yada. So, you know, it's a catch-22. We're both saying it. Anyhow, in any case, nowhere here does it say, oh, starting a war with a foreign country because they constantly threaten you with death to your country and all this is a sign of fascism. So yeah, first off, here you go, Tim Walz. Here's the definition of fascism. And second off, you're an idiot.